Phrasal verbs are a combination of a core verb and a verbal particle. A verbal particle is part of a verb. It is not a preposition or an adverb. On is a common verbal particle. But what is on contributing to a phrasal verb? How is the verbal particle on different from the preposition on? Verbal particles are based on prepositions and adverbs, but they aren't the same. We have to start with the meanings of prepositions and adverbs to understand the meanings of verbal particles. The preposition on means contact with a surface. If I say the books are on the table, I mean that the books have physical contact with the table. When on becomes a verbal particle, the meaning changes to something more abstract. It can become like a metaphor. The meaning can be stretched. Let's imagine that a person or an object has contact with a surface. If we have physical contact with something and we maintain that contact, we have the idea of continue. Contact can also be metaphorical. An idiomatic expression that shows this idea is to stick with something. For example, if I stick with my weightlifting, it means that I continue to lift weights. Maintaining contact is a metaphor for continuing something. This is one of the meanings of on when it's a verbal particle. Let's look at some examples. To hold means to own or possess something. For example, Jane holds a lot of real estate. To hold on to something means to keep possession of something. For example, she's trying very hard to hold on to her money. She wants to keep possession of her money. To hold plus on means to continue possessing something. To pass means to give something to another person. For example, please pass the salt. To pass on also means to give something to another person, but we understand that the object will continue to be passed to other people. For example, please pass the book on once you're finished with it. The understanding is that I will pass the book to another person, and that person will pass it to someone else. Each person will continue to pass the book to another person. To pass plus on means to continue passing something to other people. To recap, when on is a preposition, it means contact with a surface. When on is a verbal particle, one of its meanings is continuing. Thank you for listening. This is Christine with Difficult English Explained.